A crown is a physical weight, but the political burden is what eventually causes the gold to fracture. For Prince Rama, the path to becoming a legendary ruler began with a choice between his family and the stability of his kingdom. The setting is Ayodhya, the capital of the Kosala kingdom. Prince Rama is the central figure, described in Hindu scripture as the human avatar of Vishnu. He was effectively engineered to be the blueprint for ideal human behavior, a man who never wavers from the moral high ground. His early life follows a path of rigorous discipline. He masters the arts of war and the complexities of scripture, winning the hand of Princess Sita by snapping Lord Shiva's massive bow. Their union is presented as the height of social and moral alignment. However, a society built on this level of perfection is surprisingly fragile. When every citizen and royal is expected to follow a rigid code of duty, the system loses its flexibility. The slightest human error threatens to collapse the entire structure. That collapse is triggered by an ancient political debt. Years earlier, King Dasharatha promised his wife, Queen Kaikeyi, 2 boons for saving his life. On the eve of Rama's coronation, she calls those favors in. She demands that her own son, Bharat, be crowned king, and that Rama be exiled to the forest for 14 years. Instead of challenging the decree or raising his sword for the throne, Rama accepts the terms. He, Sita, and Lakshmana trade their royal finery for ascetic clothing. They walk away from the palace and vanish into the deep shadows of the wilderness. The kingdom falls into immediate mourning. King Dasharatha dies of a broken heart shortly after their departure. Bharat, disgusted by the manipulation that gave him the crown, refuses to rule from the throne. Instead, he places Rama's wooden sandals on the seat of power and acts as a mere caretaker. Within the logic of the story, dharma, or righteous duty, is defined by the voluntary surrender of privilege. To maintain the integrity of his father's word and the order of the state, Rama chooses personal loss over political gain. In the forest, Rama maintains strict moral boundaries, even in the face of aggression. When the demoness Surpanaka attempts to seduce him and then attacks Sita, Lakshmana intervenes, mutilating her. This act of defense draws the attention of her brother, Ravana, the demon king of Lanka, a ruler who views the world as a tool for his own satisfaction. Ravana uses a golden deer to lure Rama and Lakshmana away from their camp. He waits for the moment Sita steps across the Lakshmana Rekha, a protective boundary drawn in the dirt, and kidnaps her, carrying her away to his island fortress. Rama's response is unconventional. He does not return to Ayodhya to reclaim his army. Instead, he builds a coalition with the Vanara warriors and the marginalized inhabitants of the forest. This alliance leads to the discovery of Sita in the Ashokvatika garden by warrior Hanuman. This conflict is an ideological collision: Rama's restrained, selfless duty versus Ravana's unchecked, narcissistic ego. The war is fought on a physical battlefield, but the true stakes are the absolute moral principles governing the entire world. To reach Lanka, Rama's army engineers a massive bridge across the ocean using floating stones. This engineering feat allows the Forest Coalition to march directly to the gates of the Golden City. The war dismantles Lanka's power piece by piece. Rama's forces defeat Ravana's greatest generals and sons before Rama finally executes the Demon King himself. With Ravana's death, the external threat to the cosmic order is removed. But their victory brings a new burden. To silence the public rumors regarding Sita's time in captivity, Rama asks her to prove her purity through the Agni Pariksha, a trial by fire. She walks into the flames and emerges unharmed, her integrity validated by the fire god himself. The Agni Pariksha represents the first fracture in Rama and Sita's relationship. It clearly demonstrates that the rigid rules of kingship require a leader to prioritize public perception over their own private trust. Rama returns to Ayodhya as the triumphant king. His reign begins an era of governance called Ram Rajya, a period defined by peace and prosperity for every citizen. On the surface, the kingdom is a utopia. Beneath the surface, the rumors persist. The citizens continue to whisper about Sita's months in Lanka, suggesting that the crown's moral authority is compromised so long as she remains queen. These baseless doubts threaten the public's trust in the throne itself. Rama faces a final, agonizing choice. To maintain the people's faith in the monarchy as a symbol of pure law, he banishes his pregnant wife to the forest. He chooses the office of the king over the role of the husband. This is the hollow core of political victory. To achieve the status of the perfect ruler, Rama is forced to destroy his own humanity, proving that the state eventually demands the sacrifice of everything a person holds dear. Sita finds shelter in the ashram of the sage Valmiki. Far from the palace, she raises her twin sons, Love and Kush, training them to be warriors and scholars who understand the full weight of their heritage. Years later, Rama performs the Ashvamedha Yagya to formalize his empire. A horse is released to wander. Wherever it goes, that land becomes part of the kingdom. This ritual requires the presence of a queen, but Rama refuses to remarry. He commissions a golden statue of Sita to stand in her place, a cold reminder of the woman he sent away. Love and Kush capture the sacrificial horse and defeat their father's imperial army in a display of strength. When Rama arrives to face the young warriors, the truth of their identity is revealed, leading to a bittersweet reunion between a father and the sons he never knew. The Ramayana survives as a tragic warning about the nature of power. Leadership is a commitment to the collective that eventually consumes the individual, leaving the king to rule a kingdom he can no longer share with those he loves.